Heading to visit my dad, hopefully not for the final time, but maybe. Hey you, I'm Anisa. Today's video is for anyone who's working on cultivating a deeper sense of non-attachment. It might be so you can recognize the duality of every moment, how there's contrast in every person and everything, to suspend our judgment, to release attachment to particular outcomes. When we have an expectation of something, sometimes we can be disappointed if our expectations are not met. So sometimes the best thing for us to do is withhold expectations and having them so that we can be in a state of awe, surprise, so that we can have a level of breathing room in our responses rather than have a reaction when our expectations are not met. You might be practicing non-attachment to end behaviors or habits that you want to release. Maybe they're addictive, maybe they're reactive, or you might be practicing non-attachment to be a better observer of life, to ask the question of why, to create a little bit of distance and be the observer again and say, why is this happening? Why am I reacting this way? Why this life? And continue to ask yourself why and why. Most of my videos are stories and reflections, sharing wisdom from my lived experience, because I believe we are all each other's healers. And the more that you're able to tune into the mirror of somebody else, the more that you'll find a reflection that shows you more of yourself. And that is the beauty of all of us being here on YouTube and sharing our stories with each other. So today's topic of non-attachment definitely arose for me on a personal level in this last week, feeling a lot of heavy feelings in regards to my father and him being on the end of his life and just watching his decline, and related to matters of the heart, a number of other things, many things going on in my life that have caused me a level of needing to distance from a natural reactive state and create more non-attachment. And it's a practice that I'm sometimes really amazing at. And I use meditation as one vehicle for that. But there's so many ways that we can just become more conscious and bring our awareness to the beauty of non-attachment. So different from other videos, I'm going to get into my writing around non-attachment and its value. And hopefully this supports you in everything that you're going through. Let what comes come, let what goes go. Find what remains is the affirmation of the day, and a quote by Ramana Maharshi, an Indian Hindu sage. He shared this in reference to thoughts in the context of meditation, but it became a popular message as it was printed on a pamphlet for my 10-day silent meditation retreat I attended last year this time in Mazunte, Mexico. Last year, right now, I was sitting in silence. I was needing to release attachment to New York City and operating from a head-driven place over the heart, moving away from logic to wisdom. Over the 10 days, it was a deep immersion in returning back to self. Each day I awoke to stay awake. How often in life do we wake up just to be asleep while going about our lives? We become more fully engaged in life by tuning into our inner lives. The meditation practice of tuning into the spiritual heart and asking, who am I? This self-inquiry process was what Ramana was known for teaching. It brought many to the truth of the self. Seems contradictory to ask yourself, who am I? And release the identification with being a self, doesn't it? Enter a state of non-attachment to see what to truly hold close and what needs to be released is the guidance I'm sharing with you today. This is a small example of what's arisen for me this week as far as behavior. Beyond thinking, when not in meditation, there are behaviors driven by attachment that we can benefit from releasing. There are relationships driven by attachment that we'd also thrive from letting go of. How much do you love someone versus how much are you attached to them? You deserve a love that's not snacky, that has deep nutritional value, richness, and sustains over time. You deserve friendships that challenge and grow you in the direction of who you dream to become. You deserve to be surrounded by what supports your peace and nurtures your overflow to share with others. There is more to release than we know, internally and externally. Allowing our shedding makes room for the expansion. To make space for new life, The old must decay and fall away. What people in life are you willing to let go of to see who you want to pull close? Thanks for tuning into this writing. I think our writing is a powerful way to transmute feelings that are going on internally within us into something that supports other people in having reflections on their own journey. Writing and doing morning pages and just expressing myself into writing or dance or any other creative form is hugely cathartic, and it's part of our creative wellness. We often focus on our physical wellness, our mental wellness, but creative wellness is just as important because it's honoring the inner child within you. It's stimulating the aspect of you that feels very powerful, that isn't just consuming, but is also the birthplace and the origin center of a lot of beautiful things that want to exist into the world and want to be allowed to be expressed in this lifetime. And so whether it's as a place to process thinking, as a place to feel more deeply, as a place to transmute and share things of purpose with others, I hope that you honor your creativity in the week ahead. And in regards to non-attachment, there's so much beauty that flows to us when we allow more spaciousness for it. And I hope that hearing my reflections and thoughts on this topic support you in doing some deeper reflection in your week ahead. Thanks for tuning in, and subscribe to this channel to hear weekly uploads. And I'm sending you so much love.